I gotta say, this little issue we had with the skid steer, we called one company we were gonna get it from that doesn't take reservations. They were sold out. We called the normal company that we get it from. They were sold out. Then we found this company, and it's been a blessing in disguise. All right, well, if you watched our last video, you saw that we got the skid steer out here to help us with the roof. So while it's out here, I need to move all of this dirt, and then up there by the road, I got another 5 piles of dirt, or 6 piles of dirt, something like that. 5, I think we got 10 total. So this is all fill for the outside of the house. We have to bring up in front of the garage, and to bring up in front of the house here, like where these 2 piles are, that's got to come up. That side's not too bad, and then the back of the garage needs to come up, and then the side of the house over there. Let me walk over there and I'll explain what we're gonna do over there. All right, so there's a pile of fill that's growing weeds. We'll pull those weeds out, but we were just gonna slope this down all the way, gradual slope, but we've been talking about it more and more. I think we're gonna build a retaining wall here. I think it'll look decent. So we'll come out with fill, we'll gradually slope it. We'll probably need more, which we can get in the future. We're just trying to get it filled now so we can get concrete, because we have to go up to the top of those footers. So we'll build eventually a retaining wall that'll come out, and then we'll have a driveway going over here, because where the camper is where we plan to build a shop. So with that said, I'm gonna move the car. I'm gonna scrape some of this rock out, because we got more rock coming this week too, but I'll use some of that on top of the fill, and then we'll start putting a bunch of fill down and see how far we can get today. Well, I got a little carried away and didn't fire up the camera, so I'm through 1.5 piles, just kind of laying it out, starting to grade it out. I took a couple buckets of rock over there because I'll use that on top here. I have a little bit of rock up front. It's gonna be a few days before we get some more rock delivered, so it's actually going a little bit quicker than I thought. So we'll keep working through this pile. We need to push some more up there, and then we'll get this sloping down, and there's a natural kind of dip in here over where the car is. That's where all the water flows. So we'll just use that as our drainage ditch. This is probably like a high spot right here, which we'll fill in up there, and then it'll just slope down and go towards the lower spot. So we'll keep working along and moving dirt and see how it goes. I'll set up the camera now so you can actually watch me do something and not just see me talking. gotta say, this little issue we had with the skid steer, we called one company we were gonna get it from that doesn't take reservations. They were sold out. We called the normal company that we get it from. They were sold out. Then we found this company, and it's been a blessing in disguise because it's got radio, it's got air conditioning, it's got a backup camera. The only thing it's missing is a latch or a door, but it has a latch for the door, which ends up being the mount for the GoPro. So a door would be nice, but it's about 90 outside and I'm nice and cool in here with the air conditioning, so it's really nice. All right, front of the house. It's all graded up. We'll have to do a little bit in there. Front of the garage is looking good. It's still low in front of the garage because we're gonna end up putting gravel, and then eventually we're gonna have like a 5 or 6 inch slab. So that still has to be down a little bit, but we could always scrape that later when we need to. So I got to do more over here. This is the highest side, or I guess the lowest side. The footers are the highest, so do more over here. And then we started doing this over here. We'll gradually slope that off. Luckily there's no water runoff on this side, so we won't have to worry about that getting washed away, but we will in the front. So I'll have to figure something out. I might put a couple bales of hay on there, so the hay will catch the water so it doesn't wash away all the dirt. But we need a few more buckets, probably the rest of that. Let's see if you can see it, which side of the skid steer. Probably the rest of that pile right there will go here, and that leaves us with 5 piles up front for the back of the house. And then maybe some extra, so we didn't want to be short. We might have gotten away with 8 loads, but we ordered 10. Kind of glad we did. I may use it all. I may slope this farther out here with the other loads, because the other thing too is when we put our septic in, we're going to dig out that big hole, and we'll have all that fill in there too, because we have to run 2 septic tanks, so there'll be a ton of fill for that. So I'm gonna break, go eat some dinner, and I guess we'll come back out and see if we can't get the rest of this graded, and figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with all that fill up front. back at it today. As you saw last night, we got all that done, and I even brought some around the back of the house. We got to get the rest of that today. I want to get this done first since I was up here yesterday. We had to move that metal right there, which is why I didn't do this yesterday. I'm gonna get this gravel scraped. I just put that there so it wasn't a muddy mess this spring, and it helped, but I want to scrape that gravel. I'll put fill, and then I can put that gravel back on top. And then I need to get some fill for the back porch. There's a couple low spots, so we can start putting the gravel that we have back there. Gravel is coming tomorrow. We ordered 4 more loads for the driveway, and we need a little bit more inside the house, not a ton. This looks pretty good out here. Our thoughts are, I think we have grass seed. I think I'm just going to sprinkle grass seed over all this here in front of the house, and if it grows, it grows. I don't have high hopes because it's just clay fill dirt, but we'll put that down and then cover it with hay so that it's not super muddy this winter. And then, because we're not doing landscape till after we're done with the house, so we just want something. So we got 5 piles up there we got to pull. We'll start putting them in the back and on the porch, but I think I'm gonna do this first. Okay, it's been a couple days since last saw you guys to do grading, but as you can see, we got this all graded, nice and flat, compacted. We did this earlier today. We took the laser and went through like a 2 foot by 2 foot area and put it down and make sure we were nice and level. We did the same thing in the house. It's nice and flat. Over that corner where all the pipes are, we need to adjust. I need to fix one of those pipes. It's too high. We knew that, but I've been procrastinating, haven't done it. And then over here, this one too is too high, so I need to fix that one, which again, I knew that. And I've just been procrastinating because I don't want to do any more plumbing right now. So we have to do those before we can finish that. Let the camera adjust. So we got the back porch all graded and flat where we need it. The workbench out here, we got it graded over there behind the house. So it doesn't go out far right now. It'll end up coming out farther, but the water flows off here and we don't want to dam it up. And then our septic tanks, we have 2 tanks going in, they're gonna go right here. So I'll have more fill when I dig those out that I can use for back here. So that area will work for now and get us through. So with that said, you can see we did the front porch. I'll walk out there too. So we got this side of the front porch. There's some gravel. I need to level out that, but that's nice and easy. And then you saw all this before. So we got to get all that rock put over in front of the garage doors for our driveway. Eventually that'll be concrete, but we're not in a rush to do that because it's going to take a lot more fill to get that up. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but we'll come out 25 feet from the garage doors with a concrete slab, and then we'll end up putting a culvert underneath it here, and then we'll have like a landing parking area here, but that'll be down the road. We're in no rush for now. It'll just be gravel and it'll be good. So with that said, go get some buckets with the skid steer and try to get this knocked out. All right, coming along pretty good. We need some few more buckets here, right where I'm standing, and then that first garage bay. We'll need another bucket or so, maybe right here for the third. Need a little bit of a bucket, and then where all that dirt is, I just want to put one more. That'll be our water flow. That'll get it off the property. Well, not off the property, I guess, but off to in front of the house site. And yeah, it should do the trick for now. So I'm gonna break for dinner and then come back out here and get back to it. All right, well, it's dark out now. We got it all laid out everywhere where we need gravel. I started compacting this area, and the reason why I'm working so late is because that skid steer is going back tomorrow, and I have to move all of the siding panels and leftover metal and miscellaneous metal. I want to get them moved over here so that we don't have to trudge through the grass, and we can start getting that to grow back and weeds don't grow up, and whatever the case, if there's extra, I don't want it sitting in the mud all winter and whatnot. So we'll move it in this corner of the driveway, but we're gonna do that in the morning because it's getting dark out. I think it's 8:30, and you guys won't be able to see that skid steer's got some pretty good lights on it, but I don't really feel like doing it tonight. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, well, it's the next morning, and we got a little bit of rain last night. So we got this all compacted, got some of the metal moved over here. I need to get the rest of the metal moved over here. I ended up getting hay on all of this fill dirt over here. So I gotta add some more gravel there. And then, yeah, I gotta move that metal, and then we'll put some more hay down. The hay is basically just to keep the fill from washing away. We didn't plant any grass seed or anything because it's probably not gonna grow in that fill dirt anyway, but we'll let this hay break down over the winter. I might add some wood chips over the top if we can get some more. And then hopefully that'll start composting and turn into some soil. There's a little bit of exposed dirt around the porch here, which is fine because I have to frame that out and add some more gravel. And we do have a little bit of hay there that I can add in as we need it. I'll have to scrape some away from the house there. So it's splashed up a little bit. So once we move that metal, I can put more hay down. We'll get this thing framed out. I'll scrape this away. Once we frame in this doorway, we can get this extra, let me zoom out. We'll get this extra base metal on all the way across, scrape this out, and then should be good to go. I gotta get all this metal moved. There's some metal there, kind of scattered. We'll get all that organized and set over there on the driveway. And then this grading should be done for now. It should last us. I don't think we're going to do any landscaping next year. We kind of want to see how it all works and kind of wait, I think, till we do that concrete pad. Then we can do all the landscaping at one time. But this will be a start. Pretty good progress so far with just a few hours working. But this crusher run that we put down is like concrete here, walking on the driveway. So the hose is here because I wet it down last night when I was compacting it, so that it wasn't so dusty. But it worked out really well. The garage is nice and hard packed too. We'll take the compactor a few more times before we do concrete, but overall it's looking pretty good. So next step in the house, since we got to compact, like I said, and then we got to get our vapor barrier, plastic, and insulation so we can start doing the radiant heat, and then we'll be ready for concrete. So it's coming right along, but that is where we will end this video. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.